What's going on, everybody? You are now tuned in to the Triple M Boxing Channel, your source for all y'all boxing needs. And this Saturday, man, it's gonna be a good
He's
fight.
back.
He is back, Mr. Jaron Ennis
Yeah.
versus David Avanesyan. I can't even say it properly.
Armenian.
How do you say it?
Avanesyan. That's probably not even how
Avanesyan.
you say it, bro. It's just how you say it. Like just how people from the States or Canada say it, I guess.
It's gonna be a
Avanesyan.
good fight. Avanesyan. That's I think it's gonna be a good fight, in my opinion. What do you
Yeah.
think of this fight, Stefan? We'll start with you.
Well, first off, man, I'm kind of sad because it was uh our Canadian boxer that was supposed to fight him. Cody Crowley, but obviously with an eye injury. It's unfortunate. The fight got canceled, obviously, and David Avanesyan is the replacement for this fight. I think it's a worthy replacement. Number one, he does have the resume of what I say is a good step up fighter. David Avanesyan in my eyes is someone that you fight to get to the top level because you share the same resume with the top fighters. As you know, David Avanesyan fought Terrence Crawford. He fought Shane Mosley. Um, he fought a lot of good names. Didn't win all of them, but the fact that he did fight them is a good measuring tool for Ennis to actually, see where he stands with all these top fighters, man. But I think it's a good replacement. I think it'll be a good fight till it lasts. David Avanesyan moves forward. But what do you think about this fight?
Before I go into my thing, are you saying Avanesyan's a journeyman?
I didn't say that. I think a journeyman's a little different. A journeyman is like a stay busy fight. Um, I'd say he's a step above a journeyman. He's obviously the underdog in this fight. His resume is pretty good. Like I said, he's the guy that fought everyone, but he didn't beat everyone. You know what I mean? The fact that he fought everyone says a lot. Does that make you a journeyman? Kind of hard to say, but if he keeps doing this, though, you know what I mean. Like if he does, let's say he fights another up and coming welterweight after this fight, then another, then we can talk. But it's he's fighting for a world title, so if he beats Jaron Boots Ennis, we can't call him we can't. Then for sure he's not a journeyman.
Since we're talking about journeyman, David's last opponent, Mr. Surge, that's a journeyman. But he
Yeah.
tapped out in the fourth round. I'm like, what the heck? That's it. But I digress, man. This fight, I agree with you there. It is going to be a good test for Boots. And one thing I do want to say with Boots as well, like now that he's with Eddie
Matchroom.
Hearn,
Yep.
I think this fight he really wants to make a statement. That's what I think.
Yep.
Right. So speed wise, I think Boots has him on David. Versatility, orthodox, southpaw, kind of like Crawford. I think he's going to give David a real run for his money. For me, I think I'm calling it a good round 3 or 4 stoppage. How? Boots going to be dicking the body. Avanesyan has that high guard,
Yep.
raises his elbow a lot. I think he's going to see it. He has to see it. And like I said, now that he's in his matchroom, he needs to make a big statement to get those bigger fights.
Totally agree. This can't be another Liam Paro versus what's his name? Subriel. Your welcome fight. I see the same thing happening. David Avanesyan is a worthy opponent, but man, you got to realize this. Boots has never lost a round ever as a pro. Boots throws punches in bunches. Yes, he's like Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford, once he switches to southpaw, which he always does, he starts right-handed, and then after the first round, he's left-handed throughout the whole fight. Boots is different. Boots will probably switch once or twice around even, and he's gonna keep doing it for however long it lasts. But I think it's a good move to sign with Eddie Hearn. But again, you gotta be able to execute, and that's you start with this opponent, David Avanesyan. Yes, you want to be able to compete against the top guys. As we know, Terrence Crawford has now moved up to 154. So I think this is the time for Boots to establish. The only downside about Boots is he wasn't able to get us the fights that he wants. He was trying to chase Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence, but it's hard to do that when Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford were chasing each other because it just made sense for them to fight. But now I think now that both of them are gone, they're not in the division. 147 is free, and I think Boots, it's his time to conquer that. Maybe get all the belts first. Maybe get the Barrios fight after. Um, but this is a good step up. This is a good first fight with Eddie Hearn, and I know one thing about Eddie Hearn is he's gonna try to make everything happen, whatever, just to make it happen for Boots' career. But I think it's a good start.
I agree, man. I agree. So, what do you think? How do you think the fight's gonna end? Who do you think's gonna win?
Man, I don't see Boots losing to this guy at all. David Avanesyan lasted what 7, 8 rounds against Terrence Crawford. Although he was able to hit Terrence Crawford the first few rounds, but it's hard to compare this fight with Boots because Boots starts right away. Terrence Crawford takes a while to download.
True.
That's why he gets hit. You know what I mean? Maybe he even lets you hit him. You know what I mean? They're two different killers. Boots will just get in there right away from rounds 1 to, again, however long it lasts. And I think that's what's going to happen here. David Avanesyan is, in my opinion, is a good pressure fighter. And that's about it. You got to be multi-dimensional to beat a guy like Boots, to even win a round against a guy like Boots, because this guy is a gym rat. This guy is, in my opinion, one of the most skillful fighters of today. I'm not saying he's the best, but he's one of the most skillful. And I think it'll be, if I were to guess, round 4, round 5, and Boots is gonna get him out of there. Rounds 4 to 5. It's gonna be as you said, it's a body shot. I'm thinking it's gonna be a barrage of punches where the ref will say, it's over.
Seen enough. He's seen enough.
Yeah,